Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Steelers Sanctuary podcast. I'm your host, Dave Ribeiro from SteelersSanctuary.com, and this is my co-host, David Corup. Dave, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, brother?
Steelers got some good news this week. Salary cap could go up to as much as 250 million. They're saying now that's about 9 or 10 million more than originally thought. That's good news for the Steelers because they were kind of
They need
hovering
it.
around that.
Yeah, they need it to go up like big time. So, yeah, no, that's good news. Hopefully it happens.
If that's the actual number with the cuts they've made, they're pretty much under the cap.
Yeah,
So that's good. And any more further cap moves they do, that'll get them under and able to do some stuff. Um, some other Steelers news this week: Cam Hayward had surgery. I didn't even know he was that hurt. Right? I didn't realize that he was hurt to that point, but
no,
kind
not
of
that point.
explains the kind of the drop off he had this season. He is getting over. He's getting older in age now. Um, I wonder if this is the beginning of the end. You know,
Yeah,
is he gonna keep getting hurt? Is this gonna be?
yeah, I don't know, man. Like he played through that injury. Like you could tell that he was not right. And but to the extent of needing surgery, I mean, geez, that guy to play through all that.
Yeah, there's no question his toughness. That's for sure. Definitely not. Um, Hopefully he's completely healthy and can get back to 2022 Cam Hayward when he had like 9 sacks and had a pretty good year. We'll see. I mean, my theory on these defensive linemen when they get over that 33, 34,
Yeah,
they
no,
don't
you've convinced me now, the man. They
they
get
don't usually
that.
bounce back from that.
Yeah, when you get that age, whew, it they drop off like a cliff, and
Cam
it's
Hayward's
not
played
what
a
go
lot of
well.
football. He's been in a lot of wars. We'll see. Hopefully, this surgery helps and he can bounce back. What else do we have? Since we talked last, David, and we mentioned a little bit on the last podcast, there's been some Deontay Johnson trade rumors floating around Twitter and Steelers media. This makes a lot of sense to me, Dave. I don't think he fits Arthur Smith's offense. He's in the last year of his contract. He was a pain in the ass for most of 2023, if we're being honest. I can see this happening. I really can.
Yeah, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place with this because it's like how well he can play,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like there was so much bad too. I mean, the effort on the fumble, the non wanting the block, running his mouth, like there's all these things, and I like you said, you factor in the money and everything else. Yeah, if somebody would offer them something legit for him, I could see them pulling the trigger. I really could, but I don't know. I He's a Tomlin guy. Tomlin loves his guys,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
My biggest nightmare is they trade him to like Kansas City or somewhere like that.
Oh,
And he goes absolutely off, and just,
right,
you know, 12
and
touchdowns,
he
1,000
probably
yards.
would. I mean, he hasn't had
Yeah.
good quarterback play in how many years? So like,
In his career, maybe,
yeah.
honestly. I
So
mean, he
right,
got tail end of Ben.
right. So for me, it's just like, yeah, this guy could get traded to somewhere where he just goes absolutely off, and the Steelers look like idiots. But I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. There's a lot of moves they can make that could affect trading him to acquire picks that they, may
Yeah.
have given up in a different trade. So I am
Yep.
yeah, it's interesting, and you don't know if some of this is just the media just
Yeah.
building smoke and to make a fire. I don't know. Like it's so hard to understand. I mean, these are the same people that are all speculating that the 8 different quarterbacks that are out there that
Oh, we'll get into it.
The Steelers are going after. Yeah. So like
That's coming.
I just it's so hard anymore to believe anybody with anything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. The Steelers risk if they go into the season with him that they could lose him for nothing because it's the last year of his deal.
Right.
You're not going to franchise him because the franchise number for wide receivers is ridiculous. So you're not going to franchise
Astronomically like ridiculous. Yeah.
tag him. So we'll see. That's something to keep an eye on for sure. Patrick Peterson went back to doing his podcast, and he didn't sound completely convinced that he'd be back with Pittsburgh. He kind of made it sound like he wasn't sure if Pittsburgh wanted him or not. Um, Christ, I hope he's right.
I was
I
gonna
just,
say good
yeah,
because
it doesn't
I
make sense to me because I thought Tomlin loved him, but
Yeah,
I
but
don't
for
know.
the in the end, this is a business, man.
Yeah,
And
I
did
know.
they are you gonna really get your money's worth for what the guy looked like? I mean, this again, you nailed it with the age thing. Like he looked like he definitely lost a step, or in my opinion, was going into business for himself a lot of times, not
Yeah,
wanting to make the actual tackle, if you get what I'm saying. That was what I noticed with him, but big time, besides the fact he couldn't cover someone to save his life. But it was just the fact that it just seemed like he would pull up a lot with his tackles. He would avoid contact. There's just things I saw that I didn't like with him. And maybe they went back and watched the film. It was just like, yeah, like,
yeah.
no, we're not paying this guy this kind of money whenever he's
I
not
hope so.
even.
I hope so.
So I don't know. If they draft another corner high on top of Corey Trice coming back as well, yeah, I
Yeah,
think my man's not gonna. They're not gonna pay him that again.
I agree. He also said on his podcast that Kenny Pickett's the guy that he thinks he's going to be the starting quarterback in 24. Period. Full stop. I mean,
But he did not want to talk. Did you hear what he said? That he was just like, "Well, I don't want to really say, because I don't want to
yeah,
get in
that
trouble."
was bizarre, and I
That
don't think
was very
anybody really
bizarre.
knows what the hell he's talking about with that.
I speculated. I speculated that he doesn't think that Kenny's the guy, or that he prefers somebody else, and didn't want
I
to say
think
that.
I think he's on Team Mason. Yeah, I
Yeah,
took the
I
same.
think so too. But I could be completely wrong.
Yeah,
I don't know.
he was very strange. Like, I'm still in the league. I can't say what I want to say. This I don't know. It was kind of it was man. I wonder what Kenny Pickett's done or not done that these guys seem to not like him, or
Well, I don't.
not like him, just not
Right.
want him to be
I
the
don't want to,
starter.
and I don't want to paint him as like a spoiled kid or something like that. But like, I do wonder if it's because of where he's from when he got drafted and those kind of things, that there's a little bit of
Might be.
entitlement there. And I don't, it's all speculation. I'm not saying this
Yeah.
is true at all. So like, don't think that, oh, they're just painting. I'm speculating, just trying to understand why these guys are acting this way. And I just wonder if it is the fact that maybe he acts a certain way that they don't appreciate.
A little entitled,
Compared,
maybe.
yes, compared to Mason, who is so more appreciative and humble, and
Yeah.
just and like, again, I'm not trying to paint this picture. I'm just wondering if that is the picture. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to figure out what it is that guys don't like about Kenny Pickett in that locker room. Besides the fact that his play was very not as mid at best this
At
season,
best. Yeah.
and I don't know. I just strange that there's rumors now that they're politicking the players for Mason Rudolph to get
Yeah.
brought back.
I was going to get that. I was going to bring up that next. There's some internal division with they left it kind of either players or front office people. Some people want Mason back. Some people want Kenny to be the starter. Here's my thing. If we're debating between Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph, we're doing it wrong. This is not the debate we should be having. This should be Kenny Pickett or not even Kenny Pickett. Just somebody, Justin Fields and Kenny Pickett. Not.
No, you're
Mason
dead
Rudolph.
right. You're dead right. Like
This is ridiculous.
I completely agree. We are having a discussion about the mid quarterbacks instead of having a discussion about all the top quarterbacks available that we could go get.
When did this franchise become happy being mid?
It's like I said, it's ego and it's pride, and it's killing this franchise. It's killing. They will not. Whoever you want, you can blame whoever you want. Tomlin, or before Colbert left Colbert, right? Or if you want to blame Omar, or if you want to blame Rooney, or whoever you want to blame in that top echelon of the group, right? It's ego and pride. They do. You know how they are. They don't want to admit when they're wrong. They think they are the top drafting team in the league because they were for a very long time. They were one of the best drafting teams in the league. They built a team through the draft. They didn't go get free agents because they hit on so many draft picks. And then I don't know what happened. It went downhill for a bit. Now, don't get me wrong, they still hit on a lot of their picks, but
they can't get the quarterback right.
Correct. Well, they got lucky and hit on a franchise quarterback with Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah,
and they didn't.
I'm
And
saying after Ben,
and they didn't have to worry about it for the longest time. and now they're being exposed because they didn't get it right, and they're not going to admit they didn't get it right. They're so prideful, and their ego is so fucking big that they're just gonna follow them into oblivion. Like they're just gonna, it's just it. They're just gonna do this until they can't hide it anymore. Look at all these draft picks they've picked, and they just rot with them.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
When does Rooney's, his world famous patience, he's patient, the Steelers stay the course. When does that become a detriment? When is there no lack of urgency in the organization because everyone knows, well, AR2 is going to be patient and we got to stay the course. There's no urgency. There's no urgency to go out and get a franchise quarterback because I think the ego play. When you say ego, I look at Mike Tomlin. That's the guy with the ego that he thinks he can win a Super Bowl with a mid quarterback and his defense. Dave, he's not good enough. He's not a good enough strategist. He's not a good enough defensive coach for that. I mean, this is a team
you're right. He is
that's given up 5 straight games of 30 points in the playoffs. He's not Bill Belichick. He can't, they can't win like that. They can't.
I think you're right. I think he's convinced that his brand of football, of hard-nosed defense, run the ball, be conservative, don't have turnovers, will win.
They can't win
now. And now, mind you, they really painted a great picture when they were like, "Oh, we're gonna change and I want to be more dynamic and put up more points and da 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 da." And then he went and got Arthur Smith, which, in his own regard as an offensive coordinator, did really well. But is he the kind of prolific passing offense like that's modernized like the rest of these top teams? Nope, not even close. It's about the run game. So, what do you do? Like, do you want to be excited? Like, yay, Arthur Smith, or do you, But hey, they're bringing in more people, and you pray to God that it makes a little bit of a difference. But again,
same thing
none of it matters. Yeah. None of it matters if your quarterback is mid. It just doesn't matter.
You can have they can't coach Watts, around it.
There's right. You can have 5 TJ Watts on defense. It ain't going to matter with Kenny Pickett at quarterback. It just isn't. Yeah.
They had it in 2018 and 2019. They had some of the best defenses in football. They couldn't win. They had so much talent on those defenses. Mike Tomlin is a great motivator. He's a great leader. And he's a good coach. But he's not the type of guy who's going to devise a game plan. He's not going to outwit Sean McVay in the Super Bowl like Bill Belichick. That's not him. I'm sorry. You're not that guy. You can't do it. You need a franchise quarterback like just about every other coach in the league does. I'm not just selling Mike Tomlin short. Every once in a while, a Bill Belichick will come up with that. But even he couldn't do it at the end. You need a franchise quarterback. And I think that's when you say ego, that's what I think of. He's like, I can still win. Even, Kenny Pickett just doesn't turn the ball over and plays decent. You can't. No, you can't beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs with Kenny Pickett. It's not going to happen.
And here's another thing too that, and I don't, again, speculation. The business model for the Steelers is a machine that will never die. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, the Pittsburgh Steelers have built such a fan base. What's the saying? It's too big to fail.
Well,
it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Understand from a business model, is what I'm saying. Like, win or lose, they're going to have people come into that stadium. The season ticket holders are astronomical. Yeah. Like, it's making them money every year, no matter what happens. And that's why I often wonder if that's why they're like, whatever.
That's why mid is good enough, because as long as they stay mid, those season tickets, they can't turn into the Pirates and miss the playoffs for 10 straight years, because that would be a disaster. But staying mid will just what you said. Keep the season ticket.
Mid makes the money. Staying mid makes the money. So,
and on the other end, they don't have to pay $60 million to a quarterback.
There you go.
So they win on both ends, right?
We can not pay a quarterback that kind of money. Still go 9-8.
Yeah, even 10-7, sneak in the
playoffs.
Yeah,
everybody's ecstatic. They're the greatest of all time. Blah 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 blah. And we're still making bazillions of dollars.
Yeah.
In the end, that's what I think they've come to be okay with.
Unfortunately, I think you just hit the nail on the head. I think you're absolutely right. As long as they can make the playoffs every other year or every 2 years, and stay around 500 and keep those season ticket holders going, and keep that Steeler name in social media and all
Telling you,
that, then they're good. Then they're good. I'm telling you, I'm convinced there's something to they don't want to pay a franchise quarterback 60, $50 million a year. I
I
swear
just
there's something they do not want to do.
and I might be biased. I just consider this the greatest franchise ever, right? Like when it comes to fans and
Mm-hmm.
where all fans are all over the world. Like it's just incredible how many Steeler fans there are. I think because of that reason, they're too big to fail as long as they can stay
At some
mid
level. Yeah. Yeah. You're 100% right.
competitive. And
You're
and I
100% right.
think that's why we're at where we're at. It's they don't got to spend a bazillion dollars on a quarterback and everything else because they know they just stay mid. That money's gonna they're making profit, ridiculous amounts of profit. So
I
whatever.
mean, you might be onto something there, Dave. You really might. All right, let's switch gears. Let's do the quarterback carousel of the week. There's another 3 days, another bunch of names thrown at us. Ocho Cinco got in on it this time,
Yeah,
claiming that he knows somebody. A little birdie told him that Russell Wilson will be the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2024. I don't know what Chad Johnson has as far as. I mean, he played in the league, so he must know some people. I don't know how far this goes. I mean,
bro.
Russell
Is
Wilson's the
this
easiest quarterback to acquire because, like we talked about last week, he's not going to cost you a lot. So it could happen. It's probably more likely than Justin Fields because you don't have to trade
well?
anything
Wait a
for
second.
him.
Isn't Wilson still Broncos? Like
They're going to cut him. That's the thing. They're
okay,
going to cut
okay.
him.
Well, okay. Like we're making these assumptions, and technically he's still a Denver Bronco.
Yeah.
Like
This is all on the, I guess, all on the premise that he gets cut.
because I was thinking about this earlier today, and I was just like, what would it? So if they don't cut him, like what if they're going to try to trade him first? What would they? What would it take to get
They
him? Like
can't.
I was.
They can't trade him because all the guaranteed money would be on the team that traded for him. They'd
Oh,
have
there
to
you go.
assume that money, so they wouldn't be able to trade him
So
in
they
a million
can't do it
years.
anyways.
They
So
wouldn't be
like
able to. They have to cut
so
him or play or
so
keep him.
so the idea is he gets cut. He's going to play for league minimum somewhere else
Yeah, he'll probably
because
make
he's getting it.
$5 million. So say
So
it'll be cheap.
I honestly, if he would play for 5 mil, I would do.
I
I,
mean, again,
I, I,
when your bar is Kenny Pickett, Russell Wilson looks great.
yeah,
It's
like
just that simple.
I for 5 million, I'd do it. I would definitely do it.
I think I would too, Dave. I just, I mean, we talked about his stats last week or the week before. He had a pretty good season.
Yeah, it was
It
literally
wasn't
just
bad.
that one blimp on the radar
Yeah.
of him not doing well. Besides that, he's done very well. So yeah, like I don't think I'd have a problem with it, to be honest with you. If
Yeah,
it's
for one
like
or two
that's all
years at
they
$5 million a
if
year.
they
Yeah.
only pay that kind of money for him, sheesh. Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with it at all. Because then people was again, we see all these different quarterbacks, and it's like, can anybody really sit there and say, "Oh yeah, Kenny Pickett's going to be that right there"? No, there ain't no fucking way in hell. When I see the guys, I see these top quarterbacks in the league, or even the top 15, it's not even close. So if I'm the Steelers, and if he does, if he is floating it out there, hey, I'll play for a low amount of money to come to Pittsburgh, then I'd absolutely pull the trigger for 5 million. Come on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think we had this discussion, didn't we? Last podcast, like I thought he'd want 10 at least. Was that him I was talking about?
Yeah. We were talking about him, but he's what people are saying is he's got a boatload of money coming. Even if the Broncos cut him, he's still got a guaranteed money coming to him. So he
Maybe he
could
just
be
want to
could
play
be
for
talked
Tomlin.
into.
He just wants to
Yeah.
play for Tomlin. I could see
Oh,
that.
yeah, he could be talked into playing for less because he's already making a shit ton of
Right.
money.
I
We
mean,
don't know the man. I mean, he might
that's
say
one of
no, screw you.
dude, that's one of the biggest benefits of Tomlin too, is the fact that how much players
He does
love
draw
him
players.
and
Yep.
do want to play for
Yeah.
him. So
That's
I don't know.
100%.
It could happen. I just I don't know when Rooney and Tomlin and everyone says no, we're not going to make a
I
big
keep
trade.
coming back to that.
The starters in this locker room already, all that crap. Then how can I believe that they're going to make any of these big things? All these people are talking all that shit about. I just it's hard to.
Yep.
I don't know.
I mean, if you've been a Steeler fan for any amount of time, in the back of your head, you've always got to be thinking they don't make big moves like this.
No.
Even like just something like this, they want to stick with their quarterback until it's absolutely 100% guaranteed he can't do it. Then they'll move on. But until
Right.
that point,
And we sit here and we'll rot for seasons until
yes.
it's I mean, just that's just what they do. They are what's
The
that
minute
loyal
they
to a
brought
fault.
the minute they brought Matt Canada back last year, that gave Kenny Pickett an extra year
Yep.
because that was his excuse.
Yep.
Matt Canada is not a good coordinator. It's
And
not his fault.
we said this stuff. We said that this
Yep.
just kicks the can down the road.
Yeah.
And and we also said they'd be better to go 7-10. And guess what? They would have been weird. It's almost like we know football.
We know what we're talking about sometimes. All right. Peter King got in on the fun with the Steelers quarterback situation. He suggested that the Steelers should sign our Lord and Savior, Jimmy G, this offseason. I can't get on board on this one. This one, I might go Kenny Pickett. The guy's brittle. He's older now. He's
dude.
God
He
love
is
him.
He look, love the guy, idolize him, but my man's shot.
Yeah,
he hurt his back and has never been the same.
Yeah,
when he came back off that injury for the Raiders this past season, he was horrendous, and I mean horrendous. There's no way I would take Pickett over him. I would.
This is the line I draw.
Yeah,
it's not Jimmy G.
Yeah. When you start talking Jimmy G, Mac Jones, those guys, that's what I'm like. No, I would take Kenny over them.
I mean, if and this is not like him, but if he wanted to take a cheap contract to be the backup, I guess you could do worse. He's probably a little better than Mason. Well, I don't know.
No,
he's better than Mason Rudolph at this point. Maybe not.
No, now it goes for me. It goes Mason, then Kenny, then it go. Does he want to be the emergency quarterback? Sit on the sidelines chilling? Like I could see him being like, "Yeah, man, I'll do that." Like knowing him, but no, I'm not looking. I'm not interested. Here's the thing too. I'm not interested in backup quarterbacks. I'm interested in guys I think are gonna,
Yeah.
When I hear these conversations, I'm just like, this is sad. This is so sad. Like
it really is. When this franchise has gone to the level of debating, should we play Kenny Pickett or Mason Rudolph? That's bad. It's just.
I wasn't able to find that in your Apple.
Oh yeah.
Siri doesn't feel good about it.
Siri kicked in on me there. And I was thinking something else, Dave. How much do the Steelers really want to sign Mason Rudolph? Hear me out. If they sign him, he has to be the starter, right? He outplayed Kenny Pickett at the end of the season. You can't tell the Steelers fans we signed Mason Rudolph, but he's going to be a backup now. We saw who the better quarterback was. That just makes the giant quarterback controversy for them.
And do they want that? And that's what they're headed towards. There's no way they're going to sign Mason Rudolph and tell him, "Hey, you're the backup." They're going to say you get a chance to actually compete. But if you're Mason Rudolph, do you really believe him? Do you really believe him?
No, you don't. Because they want Kenny Pickett to play.
Because the whole thing was rigged last year for Mitch Trubisky.
And it'll be rigged again.
It was, and Mitch knew that he didn't have a future there because eventually he was going to be given to Kenny. So Mason Rudolph was an afterthought in what you thought was a competition. And they say he was the best. He looked the best out of all three.
Yeah,
in
we heard it from
several
people. Yeah. People that come on the podcast,
and we ignored it.
And
we're guilty as well. We ignored it. We're like, yeah, okay, Mason looks the best of this, sure, but look what happened.
Yeah.
So I just don't know how Mason Rudolph's like. Okay, I believe you that I'll actually get it. I mean, I would be very skeptical of that kind of promise from anybody.
I'm more convinced every day that it's going to be Kenny Pickett and Ryan Tannehill. Because Ryan Tannehill, they can make a backup. They don't have to listen to Steelers fans bitch that he should be a starter. And they have somebody that they believe in they can go to in case Kenny Pickett shits the bed. That's what's going to happen. He's safer than Mason Rudolph because there won't be any controversy. People will just accept him being the backup.
A month ago, every single one of my nightmare scenarios is coming true.
Yeah.
Every single fucking one of them.
Yep.
And I'm just like, wow, like this is everything I didn't want to happen, and it's happening. The only thing, like I said, the only thing I'm encouraged by is the fact they're adding more people to the staff, and that's really it.
It's reaching, it's grasping, because it is good news. But if Tomlin's not going to change his way of doing things, then it's just paper moves. They're there, but
yeah.
What are they?
I don't know, dude.
Deep
I
breaths.
Really don't.
I'm telling you, I've been saying this for a while. 2024 is going to be a wasted season. We need to go through 2024 to prove to them that Kenny Pickett's not the guy, so that we can move on in 25. Because
Yeah.
unless they could shock me and trade for Justin Fields tomorrow, and I'll tell everyone I'm wrong, and I'll be glad to tell people I was wrong. But I as much as I want it to happen or something like that, I don't think it's going to. I think it's going to be
No, and the power struggle between Omar and Andy Weidel with Tomlin and Rooney.
They have no chance. They have no chance.
If they want to make a move like that,
no.
I don't know. I don't see it happening. I mean, personally, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, if they have a different opinion than Mike Tomlin, they have no chance.
Oh man, do you see these idiots get all fired up on Twitter about like, oh my gosh, he followed the Steelers on Instagram, or oh my gosh, he unfollowed.
Yeah,
like
it's the new thing, man.
Bonkers over this shit. I'm just like, holy shit, like, calm down, people.
Justin Fields not following the Bears, but he's following Deontay Johnson. Who cares? That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. Whoever pays the most money, whoever makes the trade, that's the only thing that matters. We're gonna review Omar Khan's first season in a minute, but Daniel Jeremiah did his that formula we used last week. He did the Steelers today.
Did he?
And I just wanted to go over quick to see how we compared to him.
Okay.
And what he thinks and Bucky Brooks think of the Steelers. They gave Kenny Pickett pink, which is
the unproven
young player.
Yeah.
Which we gave him the dark red. They gave George Pickens green, which we had George Pickens that green, I think.
Yep. Or Deontay
Johnson. I don't think we gave him blue, did we?
Oh, I'm trying to remember. I thought we gave Pickens blue and Deontay Johnson green.
Well, they gave Deontay Johnson yellow.
Yellow?
Yeah. They gave Najee Harris, Jalen Warren yellow. This is where I'm like, what?
Whoa.
This is the problem when you're on national media. You can't follow every single team closely. If you don't think Jalen Warren and Najee Harris played at a near blue chip level last year,
show me blue level.
Yeah, show me two running backs that played better than them as a combination. You're
yellow, like.
Yeah, I was surprised at that.
Yeah, remember we said maybe you don't remember. I could have sworn you and I said that Pickens and Jalen were blue chip, and we had three greens.
Yeah,
and Freiermuth, Najee, and DJ were green. Remember? And we said those three greens makes it a third blue chip, basically.
Yeah.
Wow, yellow? Like I don't know. I don't know about all that.
They gave Broderick Jones pink, which is what we gave him, the unproven player.
Yeah.
Isaac Seumalo green. I think we did green for him too.
Yeah.
They gave Dan Moore. They combined Dan Moore and James Daniels and gave him a yellow. So I don't know if you're averaging out Dan Moore's red and James Daniels green and you call it yellow. I guess I could get on board with that.
Yeah.
TJ Watt's blue, Alex Highsmith's green, Minka's blue. They gave Joey Porter pink. I think we gave him green.
I think we gave him green. We said he proved himself already.
Yeah.
So why would you? I mean, I get it. He is only a rookie, but I mean, bro.
And then they gave defensive playmaker red, that third defensive playmaker out of the secondary because there isn't anybody.
Right.
Yeah, after Minka.
And that's what we said. Remember, we said there is no.
They have to go out and get somebody.
That's what they're missing is the defensive back, and then what else we say? Defensive back and the offensive lineman.
And we upgraded an offensive line. Yeah.
Is that what they said?
Mason Cole on this.
Yeah,
they skipped Mason Cole.
So
I guess they were trying to find.
Did they essentially say what we said that a quarterback, offensive lineman, and defensive back? Is that what they basically said? Okay,
that's what they're saying. Pretty much the same as we differed a little bit.
I don't agree with the yellows on.
No, I don't agree with the yellows.
That's ridiculous. But okay.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. But
3 seasons in a row of 1,000 yards, and you're gonna say he's yellow?
Yeah. And the two of them together, if you combine the two, it's blue.
Then together,
100% blue.
I don't get that at all, dude. That's okay.
And Daniel Jeremiah also had his mock draft as 2.0. He took Troy Fontenot.
Yeah.
Who's an offensive tackle from Washington, but they're thinking he's going to become a guard, which I don't know. Steelers are not taking a guard in the first round.
See, I've looked at scouting reports on, but I haven't seen the one where they thought he might slide inside. I didn't know that.
when I posted, a couple people came at me and said, "Oh, he's going to be play guard when he's in the pros." I'm like, "Well, then the Steelers don't need him." I mean, they Sayamalo's not a young player, but they're not going to take a guard in the first round this year. They might.
I'm trying to remember. Is he the one that they said could play right tackle? I'm
yes.
trying to remember. He's a right tackle.
I think he played right tackle. Yeah.
Yeah. He was the reason why I had in my mocks was because of the fact that the Steelers could plug a legit person at right tackle that plays right tackle and bump Broderick Jones. I mean, just like with that Guyton kid. Like it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So
I guess if they left Fontenot as a tackle, then it would be it'd be okay.
For it's a fine pick then, but we don't need no guards right now. Like
no, definitely not. Not this year. Maybe next year. One more year out of Sayamalo. He's in his 30s, I believe. So you might
him or Daniels, either or. Daniels will be done with his contract too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, we're gonna go over Omar Khan's first year as general manager of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I wrote down every single one of his free agent signings. We'll do that first. I remember us talking in the beginning of the season. We were super excited about this free agent class. We were like, he nailed it. He killed it.
Yeah.
Not so much. Not so much after watching the season. Let's start the easy one. Patrick Peterson, he gave 2 years, $17 million. That was it was just a mistake. I mean, I don't want to keep beating a dead horse. They should have kept Cam Sutton.
Yeah.
They got caught by surprise and they panicked.
They should have matched the Lions' offer. Yeah. They should have been like, what's the offer? Well, we'll match it and make it work. That's what they should have done.
Yeah, that was flat out a mistake. I mean, you paid $9 million for a corner who couldn't cover and a safety who couldn't tackle.
Right.
They could have come down to. So, yeah, not a good sign. Nate Herbig, 2 years, $8 million. He didn't play a lot, but it's good depth signing. I don't know.
Yeah, he did fine when he was out there. So
I don't have a problem with the Nate Herbig signing. That's $4 million a year for a good backup guard / center. I guess if you really needed it.
Yeah, you could argue he should have got to play some center. That's what should have happened. They never gave him a shot.
A couple of these I'm going to go to. That's on Tomlin for not making a move.
Correct.
Cole Holcomb, 3 years, $18 million. When he was playing, he was really good. Just before he got hurt, he had really, really figured it out. The problem I have with this signing is he was kind of injury prone before they signed him. They knew he was kind of, didn't he have it? He was coming off an injured season, right? In Washington. So that's only $6 million a year. He was playing so well.
Yeah. I like it. I thought it was good. It's just that he is injury prone. So now the question is, could he have made more money if he wasn't so injury prone?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Well, there you go. That's why they got the $6 million instead of more.
So they got him at a discount really because of the fact of his injuries, and it was going really well. And boom, there it is. So yeah, but I like the signing though. I did too. I thought healthy when I watched, I watched the film on him. I was like, man, this guy, he's actually legit. He's legit. So I like the signing. I'm glad they got him.
I wonder, Dave, if we're going to start to be skeptical of some of these injury-prone guys that it seems like they like to bring in now, because they gambled on Corey Trice and they lost big time. Not gambled. He was a 7th-round pick, so it was whatever. But it didn't work out. The Cole Holcomb thing's not going to work out now. Well, it didn't work out last year completely.
Well,
so I wonder if this is going to end up biting them in the ass too much, or we're going to be like, maybe Kevin Colbert was right. Maybe we shouldn't be signing these injury-prone guys. We'll see. I mean, they made out with Washington. He didn't get hurt.
I just think they're seeing the more gamble these teams take on players actually works out more. I think the percentages are better. Washington played just fine. There was no issues. So I don't know. But as far as Cole Holcomb goes, I like the signing. And I think if they're going to take chances like this, I think it's because they see the percentages are
higher. Next up, Larry Ogunjobi, 3 years, $29 million.
I'm not sure I'm feeling it. Not
feeling this one either. This was a bad signing. You could have gotten the same production for a lot less money.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I feel like they overpaid. I don't think he's played to. I don't know, man. It's just like
he's at the point where he's a cup candidate.
First, it was he was injured. Now it's no, he's not injured. He's just not producing like you want him to produce.
Yeah, for a guy who makes what, $8 $9 million, over $9
Yeah,
million a season.
that was to me was an overpay. They really wanted to not lose him.
Yeah.
That's what I think that was about.
Isaac Seumalo, 3 years, $24 million. This is a good signing. This is a really good sign. I mean, he's borderline. He's probably not Pro Bowl caliber, but he's close. For $8 million,
Oh, he's to me, he's perfect. He's right in that spot where he's really good, but not enough where it's going to cost you tons of money.
Yeah.
So leader of the offensive line, like I like the guy. I like the signing. I thought it was very good.
That was one of his better ones for sure.
Yes.
Damontae Kazee, 2 years, $6 million. I mean, I'm not going to criticize him for doing it because we all wanted to see Kazee back, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah, Kazee just didn't play as well as he did the year prior. I don't know if it was injuries or what it was, but Kazee he was another one. Couldn't tackle, and usually he's a good tackler.
Yeah,
like
his thing is a good tackler.
And he'd get picked on. He really hurt them that Patriots game. He literally got picked on by Zappy. Just imagine getting picked on by that as the QB. Like, come on. Good Lord. He got thrown 3 TDs on him. 3 touchdowns. Like, come on, man.
He fell off a cliff. Same thing, same boat. Keanu Neal, 2 years, 4.25. This was worse. He can't play. He's not an NFL safety.
He was supposed to be that third linebacker guy.
He can't do that either.
Then Minka could get back to being Minka, and he lost a step too. He'd get blown by different wide receivers. It was bad. He just looked slow, just like Peterson. He really did. He looked horrible. That was a bad signing, in my opinion.
Amon Watts, 1 year, $1.2 million. That was a good signing. Solid rotational defensive tackle.
The PFF champion. The future of the Steelers franchise. Yes. Per PFF.
Hey, for 1 year, $1 million, good rotational guy.
He did fine.
Nothing.
The stupid shit coming out of their mouth about him as I don't even ridiculous. Anyways,
I'm up to my eyeballs in analytics and PFF guys the last couple of weeks. Who else do we got? Shannon Sullivan, 1 year, 1.2. Not bad.
He was all right. Yeah,
he's a $1 million player. That's what he is. Yeah. Adequately paid there. Mason Rudolph for $1 million, man. He saved their freaking season. That's a bargain and a half.
They really got their money's worth with Mason. That ends up being a ridiculous steal.
But here's the thing: I can't give him credit for that because that was just a throwaway. That was a pity signing, I think. At one point, I don't know.
Hey, Omar Khan saved the season right there with that. Saved the season.
When you think about it, it was probably the most important free agent signing.
It was.
Yeah, because
genius.
Well, I don't know about genius.
My man had the savior just chilling as the emergency QB when ready.
And then after that, there were a few. Tanner Muse, remember him? He didn't even make it out of training camp. He was supposed to be, they spent a little bit of money on him. They thought he was going to be a player, but he didn't return.
Yeah.
You got Hakeem Butlers and Luke Barkhouse he signed during the season. Dylan Cook spent the whole year.
You're Hakeem Butler. Remember, you were all about that shit.
I was hoping.
I remember.
Just give me some hope. Some exciting player didn't work out. Yeah. Dylan Cook spent the whole season on the roster, and he's still going to be with them next year. So that one's not too bad. Then we get into Desmond King disaster. Remember that one?
Oh, dude. What the hell? That's all I got to say.
This season was quite the soap opera. When you look back at some of these names, when I was going through this list, I'm like, Jesus Christ. He did steal Darius Rush off Kansas City's practice squad. That's a pretty good signing. The guy's got some upside. Oh, Mikael Walker, no, that was bad. Blake Martinez, bad. But then Miles.
There was nobody left, though. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah. He came up with Miles Jack after that. So after swinging and missing a couple times,
they got lucky there, Miles Jack too. Like that was just I don't even know. Like Miles Jack's just a good player in general who had to come off the couch to play. So
but he did it. He played well. Same thing with Eric Rowe. Scraped him off the bottom of the barrel. That was played some significant.
Move. That's definitely one I didn't see coming. Like I thought Eric Rowe was a decent player, but I didn't think he'd plug him in there and he'd do what he did.
Yeah. And then Trent Thompson was a later on signing. I mean, I think he was earlier on, but it was all right. He's a
Thompson
guy.
Did fine too.
Yeah. I mean, he found some
interception or a couple damn near interceptions too.
He couldn't stay healthy at the end. That was the problem.
Yeah.
And then let's see. He did a couple extensions. Mitch Trubisky extended for 3 years, $19 million. Yikes.
Yeah. Yikes.
That wasn't good. But on the good side, he extended Alex Highsmith, 4 years, was it 68 million? That was a good sign. That was a good
And that
extension.
shocked me. Remember, I didn't think he could pull it off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big time. I still think he's underpaid, honestly. I think if he was a free agent, he would have killed it. So that's good on them for locking him up early. Then we get to Mr. Khan's trades. Allen Robinson, they swapped 7th round picks. It was a flyer. It didn't work out. I'm not going to kill him on. He didn't give up anything. It's maybe a bad personnel decision, but the compensation was nothing.
As long as they cut him now, then I'm okay with it.
I'm worried, Dave.
Do not pay this guy.
I think they're gonna freaking extend him.
What?
I think they're gonna extend him, lower his cap hit and extend him. I think they like him in the clubhouse. I don't know, man. I'm not in the clubhouse, so he didn't do any good for them this year because the wide receivers were going bananas all year. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong.
I just didn't see anything that really impressed me.
He's shot. He's shot on the field. It's just what if he gives him something in the I don't know.
Right.
I think that might be overblown too. And then we come to the Kevin Dotson trade, who was a Pro Bowl guard. I want to remind people. The Steelers gave up Kevin Dotson and a 5th round pick in 2025. They got a 4th round pick this year and a 5th round pick in 25 back. So, right. Yeah, that's right. So they had to trade a pick and Kevin Dotson to get a 4th rounder this year.
Is that really his fault, though? Let's think about this.
No, this is another one that goes back to
this
Tomlin,
is back on Tomlin and the coaching staff. This is not because we were fine with it. We were like, okay, great. You're actually getting something for him and not gonna just sit around and waste your time with him. Like, and then some people that know what the hell they're doing out in LA were like, okay, like we're gonna put you back where you belong. And wow, look at that. Now all of a sudden he's, it's just ridiculous.
They only got 1 year. They only got 1 year out of it because he's a free agent now, and they're probably not going to re-sign him. So,
no, he will. I'd be shocked. I mean, I'll say this about Dotson. He is a Steelers fan.
No, I mean the Rams are not probably going to sign him back either because their cap is still kind of screwed up.
I thought you meant Steelers.
No,
I was
the Steelers won't.
I was like, he's a Steelers fan. That maybe it might help them, but after everything that happened, I don't know.
Nah, he's not coming back. He's not coming back.
Yeah,
but so I think both teams kind of. The Steelers should have played Kevin Dotson at his position and coached him up more, and they would have had a Pro Bowl 24-year-old, guard for the next 3-4 years. They botched it. There's no
like you said, round peg in a square hole, man. They keep doing this with the offensive line, and it doesn't work well.
All right, that brings us to the draft where he did. We thought he killed it, and he probably did. We still got to see.
I still think he killed it.
Let's go through.
Okay.
Broderick Jones was bad second half of the season. Now he's playing out of position. That's on Tomlin again. Yes, probably.
But that run game with him out there, just absolutely shot up the board. Like, I mean, come on. So we can say his pass protection was horrid. Absolutely.
It was bad.
But his run blocking was fucking immaculate.
Yeah, but you don't draft a left tackle at 10 to be a run blocker. You want to do that.
The Steelers do. Are you sure about that? That's their whole fucking thing. Like I don't know, man.
I know.
I think that is the thing for them.
Fuck, for fuck's sake, man.
I don't know, dude. Like I think
you got me. Good point. You win. That's an A+ for them. That's exactly what they wanted. Dan Moore 2.0. Ugh. Second round, home run. You can't argue it. Joey Porter Jr. Home run. Period. Unreal. Full stop. Great. Second round again, Keanu Benton, home run. Well, we think it's going to be a home run. Yeah. The arrows point out. I mean, he didn't play a lot because, again, the coaching staff doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. They played, everybody and their cousin over him for Keanu the season. Yeah. Watts was getting more snaps than him. But we think that's a home run. Nick Herbig, good flashes. We'll see.
They need to play him more.
Again, another one.
He's another one that to me looks like he could be electric. He could be a playmaker for them, but they got to find a way to get him in there. Because think about it, he didn't get that many snaps and had an impact. Was it the sack for fumble to end the game in Seattle? I mean,
I think his sacks per snaps was like ridiculous too, because he didn't play that much.
He only had like 6 snaps and had a sack or 2. So but dude, I I really like this kid. Like we were worried about his size, but
Yeah,
he makes it work.
I
makes
admit
it
I
work.
was very skeptical of this draft pick. That turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to. Corey Trice, that's a TBD. I talk about maybe this taking chances on injured players may not be a great idea, but in the 6th round, it certainly is. You take shots in the 6th round. If he ends up staying healthy for 2 or 3 seasons, they might have something in him. So I'm all about. I'll give him credit for Corey
I thought they
Trice.
got him in the 7th round.
It was the 7th. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was 2 7th-round picks. So yeah, I'm fine with the Corey Trice pick. If it doesn't work out, the guy's got talent. You can see it. He's just got to stay healthy. And then Spencer Anderson, he stayed on the team all season. That's an accomplishment for a late 7th-round pick. So we'll see. He didn't
And
play.
Washington, what, in the 4th?
Oh, I forgot Darnell Washington. I skipped him.
Yeah,
My
I
bad.
was
Darnell Washington.
like he
I like it.
he played a lot more, and he was a great run blocking tight end.
There's
I didn't.
more potential
There's
there.
more there to plug into.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
didn't like how they didn't, throw him the ball more. Like, I don't buy that shit that he's, he can't catch the football. Dude, find a way. That's 6'7",
Yeah.
Mack truck out there that can run with some speed a little bit. Give him the damn ball. Like,
I think he'll benefit from Arthur Smith being the OC more than probably anybody, because he'll find ways to get him the ball, and that'll be
you hope, because Kyle Pitts would have a bone to pick with that.
Oh, is Kyle Pitts really a tight end? He's not the tight end that Arthur Smith likes. Arthur Smith's like a blocking tight end that he can catch passes after.
That's true.
Kyle Pitts is a glorified wide receiver.
But
he's not.
I forgot that was when Arthur Smith was the head coach. It doesn't count. So whatever.
He did some strange shit. There's no denying it. As a head coach, we don't know. Maybe Kyle Pitts and those guys aren't that good. Who knows?
Look, I'm on board. Remember, I'm okay now. Everything's okay. It's great. It's great. It's wonderful.
Okay now. You took your Steelers pills. You're okay.
Yeah.
I had to talk you off the ledge there. You were gone for about 48 hours there. You were gone.
Was pretty upset. Pretty upset.
And hey, you might end up being right in the end. It might end up being a disaster. We'll see. I mean, but like I said, you gotta take your expectations and then bring them down here.
Yeah.
And say, this is the best guy for the offense that Mike Tomlin wants to run. He's going to get the most out of it. That's what I keep telling myself, that this is the best of not a great.
This is the best of what Mike Tomlin wants. That's what this is.
Yeah. You bring Clint Kubiak in here, and he's going to be like, you might as well handcuff him to the freaking water heater and not let him out. He's not going to get to do the stuff he wants to do. There's just no way. So you take the draft, you take the trades. Not for a rookie GM, pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good overall.
No, I thought he did well, dude. Like, do you have a grade you want to give him overall so far?
B plus, maybe.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm at B plus. Yeah, B plus. Like, I think he's done well.
We like the aggressiveness. We like the draft, obviously.
He made Steelers offseason fun.
Yeah. And maybe I'm biased, but there's 3 or 4 of these players you can point directly to Mike Tomlin and say, he screwed these guys up.
Yeah.
The way his stubbornness. I mean, how long did it take Joey Porter Jr. to get out there?
Right.
With Patrick Peterson and Levi Wallace as your starting corners, you didn't want to play Joey Porter Jr.? I mean, come on.
Yeah. No, there's some games where it's like, if you plug in Joey Porter Jr. and Benton earlier, we probably win them games.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You take your rookie left tackle and make him play right tackle for the first time, in his career? You're screwing this kid. This is a top draft pick that you traded up for.
Yep.
And you make him move.
Yeah.
And you leave the turnstile on the left side to keep playing. Mike Tomlin makes me crazy sometimes. These are the decisions he makes that I just don't get.
And Pat Meyer, those two together. You're Pat,
what are you? My feelings on Pat Meyer.
What are you doing? Like, dude, they're just yes. I don't even get me started. Like, just I don't get it. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're taking these draft picks and you're literally putting them out of position.
Yeah.
But when Chooks made the comment that, just let him win or whatever in front of Tomlin, Tomlin was so pissed. I just don't think he gave a fuck about any of that stuff. He was just like, nah, you're done. Like, I don't give a fuck who I put at right tackle. He's like,
Dude, he
you're done.
never holds anybody accountable. So if he let Chooks sit for 2 games, people would have been like, holy shit, that's the biggest punishment we've ever seen in our lives. Then he could have gone back to Chooks and still had the same effect. You didn't need to keep him out all season.
Oh, no, dude.
To the detriment of screwing up your first round draft pick.
To Tomlin,
I mean,
if you don't want to win, if you give up,
oh,
you could be
just give up. And as
bro,
you're down 20 points with
he gave
30
Mitch
seconds left.
Trubisky 3 games because Mitch never said, let's just give up. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's when you say those kind of things in front of him, yeah, he's done. He's done with you.
Yeah, but there's been
I agree with you. Like, I agree with you. Like, yes, it's stupid. He should not have done that.
Yeah.
But I'm not surprised either. Like, none of this surprises me.
I mean, all the stuff Antonio Brown did, he never got benched for a game. Never mind for a season. The guy's throwing furniture out windows and,
But my man never said give up.
Yeah, I guess that's the line. Everyone's got their line, right?
No retreat, no surrender. Okay.
Oh boy. And meanwhile, you maybe fucked up your future left tackle forever, and you got Kenny Pickett and Mitch and everybody else killed with Dan Moore on the other side. You might have killed your quarterback too, because Kenny Pickett's like,
well, he's got PTSD now.
PTSD, yeah. He can't even drop back without doing a pirouette. So you screw you just to make a point. I don't know. It's one of those things. Desmond King was never good enough to get on the field, and he started for the Texans the rest of the season. The Kevin Dotson thing. Yeah, there's some things that just make you just. And I defend Tomlin. I defend him, but some of the shit he does, man.
17 non-losing seasons, yay!
Yay! That's gonna be the new chant for us. Yay! 9-7 forever.
Yay! Yeah, literally. Like, I tell you. I don't know, man. We'll see. I don't know, but
getting back, make us feel better, and they'll trade for Justin Fields, and we'll all be like, we were wrong.
Well,
let's go win some games,
and we'll see. We'll see if that's. I don't think it's going to happen. I think we're stuck in Mediocreville for the rest of our lives.
Purgatory for at least the next couple seasons.
And dude, I don't know. I hope we're wrong.
And listen, in a perfect world, I don't want Justin Fields. In a perfect world, I don't know. Well, I do know he's not in that Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen category, but
his ceiling is higher.
His ceiling is higher than Kenny Pickett, and he adds that extra dimension of being like the best running quarterback in the league, maybe except for Jackson from Baltimore. They're 1 and 1A as far as running quarterbacks. So at least you have that too. That's kind of exciting. Adding that kind of running with your running backs, and then having George Pickens, that's something to get excited about.
Yeah,
rather than just 4 yards in a cloud of dust and run first down, run second down, pray on third down.
Yeah, I agree. I just they're just not going to do any of this. It's just a waste of time. I'll be shocked.
I don't think so either.
And I hope I'm wrong. Like I want to be wrong, but we'll see.
I mean, we've never seen this much smoke before, but then again, the further we get away from Ben Roethlisberger and the more we get bad quarterback play, this is just going to get worse every season.
I mean, just think about how long they did this with Cowher.
Yep. And they didn't have social media back then. So they
didn't have social media then.
Yeah.
So they did it for a long, long time with Cowher. I mean, we're talking long time. Even Cowher wasn't going to draft Roethlisberger.
No.
We got lucky.
Rooney, and he very nearly pulled it off. He almost won a Super Bowl with a mid quarterback with Neil O'Donnell.
Right.
They were close, but his interceptions killed him in the Super Bowl.
So if they're willing to wait for over a decade with Bill Cowher, they're willing to wait over a decade with Tomlin before they quit fucking around and go get an actual quarterback.
Yeah, I wonder if they could get away with it now because of social media and all the attention.
If they can't, good. Thank God.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, you've seen what it's like for the last month now. It's been
crazy.
It's been nuts. It's been
3 times a day. There's a rumor about a quarterback.
I see them listed on my Twitter feed. They'll be listed back to back. Oh, the Steelers are the number 1 to get Fields. oh, the Steelers are number one in odds to get Russell Wilson. You're just like, what the hell? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, if you know this team and the way they operate, it like we said, it'd be a shock if they made a trade for Justin Fields, or if they signed, Kirk Cousins for $30 million a season. It would be an absolute shock.
Yeah, it would.
Somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to sign Kirk Cousins to 30, 35,
Oh,
$40 million a season.
somebody's
going
gonna pay it, man. Absolutely.
Atlanta, Minnesota, maybe even the Raiders. Somebody's going to do it. It's not going to be Pittsburgh, though.
Apparently not.
Probably not. All right, man. That's all I have, unless you got anything else.
No, that's all I got, man.
All right. You can follow me on Twitter at SteelersSank16. Email the show at daver@steelerssanctuary.com. Subscribe to the podcast or subscribe to our YouTube channel, guys. We're really having good success with that. Let's keep it rolling. Dave, give me your stuff and let's get out of here.
Yep, you can find me on X at DMC3SSP. You can find me on TikTok at Steelers Sanctuary Podcast or at SteelSync Pod. Remember, guys, I got the sports book, signupexpert.com/nothingness.
All right. Until next time, thanks for listening to the Steelers Sanctuary Podcast.